Internet. Hi.
I don't know if they can hear it. Oh, it's in the
Yeah,
headphones.
because it's sorry.
Hey, weirdos. I am Janae.
I'm Amanda, and we are
Girls Go Books Deep.
We like to go deep diving into the fantasy and science fiction books, and you love the most.
Yeah, so today we're gonna dive into this first episode. Sorry, I'm preparing myself. This is the whole reason why we started our podcast, Interview with the Vampires. So we stumbled upon it first episode.
We kept trying to figure out when they were going to release this, and then realized all of a sudden that it had already been released.
It's
today.
Up there. Who knew?
Okay.
So if you would like to join us in watching it, it is on AMC. You can get that through your Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Apparently, well, I think it premiered yesterday. So 2 episodes is available, but we're going to watch episode 1.
We're going to live stream our reactions right now. Because
we're both kind of scared.
Yeah. We've both read the books when we were younger. We both love the original movie.
Yes.
One of our favorite, can quote the whole movie.
Yes.
So when we heard that they were coming out with a TV series, ridiculously excited. So crazy excited. When I heard that Jacob Anderson was going to play Louis, even more excited.
Yes. Like Infinity War, crazy Marvel fan excited.
Yeah. Started deep diving into all kinds of history and all kinds of interesting possibilities that the show could go down. And
slowly but surely, as they started releasing clips and photos,
information, didn't really think that they would go down this direction.
Okay, let's be clear. We don't know what direction they're truly going in. We are assuming a lot. I'm gonna just throw that out there. So just in case,
just from the description of the show alone, they're saying that he's having his interview today, which is understandable. He was having his interview today in the book, and it was in the 90s. Okay, cool, that's fine.
Yeah,
but he's in Dubai. I'm like, okay,
why? Why?
It's super chic and very in right now today. Yes. No. We're live right now, Dilly Bean. That's my daughter
watching a movie.
What, Dylan? We're live on the internet right now.
Say hi to all the people. Yeah, say hi. Or just raise your hand.
What do you need, baby?
Well, I bumped my leg.
Okay. Thank you. Say bye-bye. Thank you. Yes, say bye-bye. Thank you. Okay.
Day in the life of a podcaster.
Of a mommy.
Yeah. Of a mommy podcaster.
Yeah. So he's in Dubai, and he's giving an interview about his life, and it's only been 100 and something years. I mean,
yeah, I'm a hold.
From what I can see, from what I've read, just descriptions of the show, Claudia's a teenager.
We don't agree with this. I don't understand why you've chosen to go that route, but
and then just from seeing the trailer alone, my main Lestat is English. He's British. He's not French. Oh. Okay.
There's so many thoughts, but I'm gonna try to hold it and watch and see. Maybe they'll surprise us. But I don't have high hopes. But you ready to dive into?
I'm very interested to see
episode 1. All right. gonna say I can't hear it. Oh. Title card looks amazing though. I like the font.
Mental health and suicide. Okay. Ooh. Immortal Universe. Oh yeah, so that's like the new name of it because they're creating their own universe too with the whole witches and everything.
Oh my
It's
God.
the Immortal
Okay.
Universe.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm here for it if it's good.
Also, R.I.P. Anne Rice.
Oh my God, I want to go to New Orleans for the celebration of her life. Like she was my teenage years. In the throes of increasing
There's stories
wonder.
out there that need to be told. There's shit out there that's just,
No, that's part of the show.
People need to know about it. That's
Fuck.
the job. It's not a compliment.
I thought it was a commercial.
I did too. Wait, I'm so
Oh,
confused.
that's the author.
That's the guy.
Guys who look like me, huddle around a desk at a page one meeting deciding what the news was.
That's
This
weird.
little fucker changed all of that. I've been fired from 3 papers, hired back at 2 of them. Third got gobbled up by Nick Ritter. So to be clear here, I'm a goddamn reservoir of do's and don'ts. Your sources are your Sherman.
This
Your
is
editor is your priest. Honestly, it's
interesting.
not a tactic. You still want this job? It's your money. I'm Daniel Malloy.
It is.
That's hilarious.
Can he make his fantasy a reality?
He's got a bite mark on his neck. Okay, interesting. Okay. I was going to say, because Daniel Malloy, it's interesting that they're telling his name already. He's just the boy in the books.
Yeah. Hey, Doc. Yeah. Thanks for getting
He's
back
not a
to
big
me.
famous.
Yes, that's right. I have an appointment scheduled for later in the week, but the thing I'm trying to figure out is what's the deal with this subvariant business? I mean, is that more contagious? Is it? Yeah, because I mean, there's no reason to get more. Okay.
Is he talking about COVID?
Yeah. I mean,
No,
I'm
he's
thinking,
talking
why
about
get any closer to the bug
vampire shit.
than I need to.
Louis de Pantelon.
I gotta call you back.
Okay. I like this.
How did it come about? There's a simple answer to that. I don't believe I want to give simple answers. I think I want to tell the real.
Okay.
Dear Mr. Malloy, I hope this letter finds you safe and thriving, if such a thing were a possibility in this bleak hour. I've been following your career with some interest since our last meeting. Please allow me to congratulate you on all your successes, those professional and those personally redemptive. The passage of time and the frailties that accompany it have provided me perspective, and I suspect the same might be for you as well.
Breathy vampires.
I'm hoping health and pride won't deter you from the following proposal.
It's like if you're a vampire, you
Next
just
time,
can't get your
the
breath.
sale of my church.
Like,
The project boyish youth prevented us from finishing. 49 years and thousands of miles removed from the room we shared in San
Ew,
Francisco.
no, why? Why?
For your journalistic pleasures, my full attention.
First of all, contact stop.
All
Nope.
affinities.
Y'all could have found some better
Oui,
context.
point du lac.
I told my editor.
You can at least make sure they were lined up before doing a thing right on his face, because one looks like it's going in that direction.
Came back with Bezos, Putin. He thinks I'm in Proskobayevka.
You've grown old. Dang.
Can put a caption on.
Oh,
Yeah, well, mortality beats a heavy drum.
I wasn't sure you'd remembered me. Your book makes no mention of our prior meeting.
Gritty memoir, drugs, humiliation, self-pity kind of thing. Mentioned vampires in one of those readers tend to call bullshit.
You've had some health concerns of late.
Whole planet's having a moment, I'd say.
You have Parkinson's disease, Daniel.
Yeah. And you've got your own hangar at the airport, privileges on the Royal Maidan Bridge, and zero presence online.
Have I hit a
let's
nerve?
look. Are they combining two people's
I know the
storylines?
Emiratis are big on privacy, and that's probably important to you, but I gotta ask, what does it cost this haven't aged in half a century, killer reviews in all directions, anonymity?
Quite a lot.
Only my family and my doctor know I'm sick. I don't dig the one-way hack, yeah? And here's another question. That's the sun out there. Where's your coffin?
Looks like
You're
his.
standing in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say his windows look pretty tinted.
For real.
I have to be very careful whom I let in.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, things didn't end well
I mean,
the last time.
Yeah,
I like that.
So
That's different.
Forgive me if I'm a little nervous.
it's like essentially he's turning to.
You're disrespectful.
I was high.
You were not worthy of my story then.
Maybe your story wasn't worth telling. You've got the tapes. Hire a transcriber. I don't do portraiture anymore.
And yet you got on a plane with an autoimmune disease in the middle of a pandemic.
Okay.
All right. That's my voice, but I don't remember it. I ask all the wrong questions.
Yes.
There's contradictions in your story I never follow up on.
Yes.
The few good ones I do manage to get out, you steamroll over them. It's not an interview, it's a fever dream told to an idiot.
Confession.
Yes.
And you? Why again? What's changed?
World, circumstances, me, I've
You what?
changed. And I too find the tapes lacking.
So, a do-over.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Okay. I mean, I'm really not that mad at it. Okay.
I asked the
There.
question.
I mean.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay. So now my next question. So we know that he's given this interview.
It's a
To me, it would be
do-over.
funny if it was Christian Slater's voice on the tapes. But
true.
Right.
That would have been like a little.
for me, I
nugget.
was like, is that Christian Slater's voice?
No. That would have been great.
That would have been a nice little nugget for the pack. But what I'm wondering, so if you told that story back in the 90s, are you just going to rehash the exact same story? Or are you starting from a different time period? Or are you looking at it from a different perspective because you're older? That's interesting.
Yes. And I feel like that seems like that might be the route that they're going. Like, now that I'm older, I look back and I see things differently. So it gives them some leeway of how they could have changed things and why things aren't the same. So it's like, okay.
Which is interesting because it's also us looking back on a story in a different time period with different eyes.
Yes. Okay. AMC. See,
that's the thing. Like, I trust Anne Rice. I trust her son. I can't think of it. Christopher Rice. Like, I trust them. But when I heard about this, like, I was like, why is there cars? Why are there cars? What's going on? I got so upset. But, like, really the main thing is, like, why is this motherfucker not French? That my heart is breaking if Lestat is not French, or this motherfucker can't keep his accent straight. That's what it's gonna hurt.
We're gonna find out.
You answer the questions. Anything that can't be verified, I send to my researcher. No third parties. I write it. You get to see it before it goes to print. I get the final edit.
That is not the agreement you signed.
And one more thing. I do my best work one-on-one.
Would you see to Mr. Malloy's room? Have Chef prepare a meal for him. I think it's best we start when our boys had a rest.
I'm not your fucking boy. I'm an old man with all the triggers that come with it. And I'm ready. So let's do this. I'm Daniel Malloy. It is 10:08 in the morning on June 14th, 2022. I'm in the penthouse apartment of the Al Sharaf Towers across from Mr.
Is he supposed to be giving me Anthony Bourdain vibes?
So.
I love it, but I'm just saying, rest in peace.
How long have you been dead?
The year was 1910. The fall of the 50s.
Okay, really? Because, like, when Louis gives his interview the first time, he thinks he's, like, one of the only last living people and that he's so old. But as time goes on, especially if you're one of those people who have really read all of the fucking Chronicles and shit, you know that eventually he does learn bitches is way older than him. And there's a lot more than just him. You know what I'm saying? So by this point, he should know that.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder how that's going to affect the story he's going to tell.
It probably will affect it a lot. But we will see.
But I don't know why it, like, hurts my heart that they're going to, like, 1910.
Well, you just gonna have to see.
Okay, I know. You're like, play the damn thing.
My father's passing, and in the fall of the 5th year, the executor in charge of the Dupont-Dulac Family Trust.
The eldest son.
The favored son, and a sizable trust to oversee as a consequence. Capital accrued from plantations of sugar and the blood of men who looked like my great-grandfather but did not have his standing. But then decades of Jim Crow and the electrified light of a new century had vanquished any idea of a free man of color. So it followed the only place in New Orleans a gentleman of my complexion could do a righteous business was a neighborhood called Storyville.
That was the old red light district, yeah?
20 blocks of drinking, gambling, and gluttonous whoring.
Okay, so as the honorable executor of the family's estate, you were in what business exactly, Mr. Dulac?
You could say I managed and operated a diversified portfolio of enterprises.
You were a pimp.
The product was desire, and it came in as many forms as there were ways to move it. The 24 sporting houses on Liberty Street, I owned 8 of them. Modest.
Talk about going in the opposite fucking direction.
Why we gotta make the black man the pimp? Why? What is happening? What is happening?
What in the fuck? is that shit?
Oh.
This is what I was talking about that I was hoping that they weren't going to do. Blanket statement, everyone in the South, like, no. This is no, this is not the only thing he could have fucking been doing.
I just find it hilarious. Homie was supposed to own a plantation and some slaves, and they decided to make him a pimp.
So they had him owning people in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Because it's a weird thing, because I'm like we were talking about in his earlier, showing true history. Can you imagine? Like, especially people who don't know nothing about history, let alone history in another state. Because every state teaches
their own bits, yeah, and you get a glossing over of everybody else.
So to be taught that there was a black man who owned a plantation who also had black slaves.
It's not even just that. Like,
there's so much to it, though.
Like, I want to literally put together an actual podcast where we find the historical information, we present it to people, and we want to say, I don't understand why this wasn't an option.
Oh no, I would love that, because power struggle is number one on that list. That's the main option of why they don't show it. Why it's taking so long to have it. First of all, why it's taking so long to show a woman as a superhero, let alone a black person as a superhero? Because let us not dare show them that they could be powerful. But let's continue.
Or that they could have been or were powerful in the past.
Yeah.
Let's take away all of their agency. That they never were powerful at any time in their life period, in their ancestors' life period, in nothing. You had nothing. Don't worry about it because it wasn't fucking there. I can't stand that shit.
Speak.
All right, go ahead.
Speak so I don't have to.
Like, I can't.
They lacked in size and elegance. They more than made up for in efficiency and reputation. Mr. Dulac. Yeah. Got any bills in them fat fucking rolls of yours? I was, admittedly, a rougher thing then.
Mr. Dulac.
You had to be if you wanted to survive. You couldn't look weak on Liberty Street. Damn, Doris, you're gonna lose your good leg running out like that.
We got bad trouble.
I apologize. I was only trying to show you my love. Fuck you. Why? Honey, here.
Well, I'm a cunning now. A minute ago, I was just love.
All of the film? Getting on it? God damn it, Briggs.
He stuck it in my shit box.
I did no such thing.
Gave a chance to plug. He kept on fucking. So I gave him a little squirt of my catfish dinner for going there. Don't believe me? Check his dick.
What you talking to? I'm taking no man's dick. Oh, God.
Hell, I might have even said yes if you just asked, but I don't care who he is. You put a dick in an asshole without asking. That's against Jesus.
Someone go fetch Doc Johnson. And you get some clean water in the house.
This is why this show comes on at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Get your hands off me, nigga. You gonna make me regret my support. You repeat yourself, Mr. Finley. Give me the point du lac, sir. Oh, point du lac. Oh, forgive me. There's so much wine. Don't worry, man. We'll keep this here 20 hours. So we'll have to put a doc on the wall. Oh, Miss Williams. Isn't she a vision?
I ain't cleaning his dick.
Oh, Jesus, Mary. Got a situation.
As you shouldn't.
We got another one outside 122. Man after the maggot, trying to wait business.
You know what I pay you for?
Citizen priest.
Do you not realize, sister, your body is part of Christ the Lord?
Second time this month.
When you take that body and enjoy
And
it,
I'm gonna give 2 moons to feed your brother, Mr. Glock. I'm gonna knock his son out.
Okay, his brother. Oh wow. This is an interesting.
Hold on.
Wait.
That slightly kind of makes the story a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, no, this is an interesting, because I mean, when they showed that it was going to talk about mental health and suicide, I immediately like, okay, they're going to show his brother.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But now it's like, okay, the brother, which we already know, super into his faith.
Exorbitantly so.
But to counteract that, to show the difference between the brothers, okay, you don't own a plantation, he owns a whorehouse. Sure. Still don't like it.
See, this is why I don't like when people have to narrow things down to 9 episodes. They have to simplify things so much and take out nuance and complication, and they have to just make blanket statements so that you understand quickly and efficiently why something is happening, so that they can get to the major plot points later on, because they only have 9 fucking episodes to do it.
This is why the downfall of one just the TV shows, because remember, TV shows used to be a whole season of 23 episodes.
Yes.
To where now they're cut more than in half, because most shows don't even go 10 episodes.
That's why I'm super excited, because Outlander's new season is going to be 16 episodes.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Get a lot done.
Yeah. Because the last season, it was the pandemic season. They only had 6 episodes.
Oh, so
and it was heartbreaking. They had to go through some shit so fast. They did a good job with what they had. But I could just tell. I was like, I have to read the books now.
I hate throwing this out there, but as someone who is interested in writing and loves film and television, I'm starting to question these writers and their ability to actually write.
I'm starting to think that we're starting to slip out of that golden age of television.
True, because even so, it's like one of the things I remember taking a screenwriting class is like, you want to be quick and concise and get to the point. It's like, okay, you have all this time, 2 hours for a movie. Obviously, there's certain things that you can't put in the story, but you need to figure out how to tell it without
how to convey that visually.
But then I'm like, you look back in time when people had movies used to be an hour and a half. Now you have a 2-hour movie, but there's still movies that were an hour and a half that were better than this 2-hour movie, and you got more time.
True. They prioritize the right things. That's why.
And now you have TV shows that are shorter. And granted, they had more episodes back then, but I'm just like, okay, you had all these episodes that you had to fill in information and you did all these story arcs. Now you don't have to do that. So it's like, how do you not? I don't know.
You have to get to the meat of everything during every episode. There's no more filler episodes.
I don't know. It's just a very interesting thing.
It's just that, like, in the book, it's not this diverse of a separation between the two of them.
Right.
He's just not that into religion.
Yeah.
And he supports his brother's religion and his need for it. So he builds something so that his brother, and it's like everybody's saying, your brother's going mad, this is getting mad. And he's just like, just let him do what he wants to do. Like, yeah.
He's enjoying his life. He loves what he does. Why we mad?
And then it goes just too far and he loses his mind and ends up killing himself. So, but that's drawn out. It's a book, you can see, because they don't even do that in the movie. In the movie, he's on a horse and he's like, I had lost my wife and child the summer before in the plague, and then that's it.
Yeah.
They don't even go through it.
The brother.
Yeah. So it just, you need to get to why he's upset, why he's roaming the streets, drinking and going to whorehouses all the time. So this cuts
a lot of that out. But
yeah,
again, I feel like, and we were talking about it earlier, hence why we're doing this live, there's a better way that they could have done this.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's continue.
Tell my mom not to wait up.
There's blood in your shirt. What wickedness is it tonight?
You're not helping me, Paul.
Oh, but I am. The Lord told me to come to me. In my head, like a family of birds and many voices, but also one voice.
Saying it a second time.
Yeah, his
Listen
brother's
to me,
like
please.
schizophrenic.
Have a fucking night, okay? Can't have it with your food.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Get on home. Else I'll beat you like a cochon, bro. Did I want to pull a knife on my brother? No. But as I alluded to before, you couldn't look weak on liberty. You never knew.
Ew!
No.
No! That's not Lestat.
No.
That's not him. That's not him. I'm sorry.
His knife on me.
No.
Who would disrupt your mother's business interests?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad we had the same instant reaction. Like I said, contacts. I worn them majority of my life. There's some better ones out there.
Mornings with my family followed a pattern that year. My mother consumed herself with preparations for my sister's wedding, while Paul confused the dining table with a pulpit none of us would recognize.
We should tithe it all to St. Augustine's before this house falls in on us.
This is just a temporary situation until Louis can find us some more respectable business.
Daddy was here, we still being sugarcane.
That was when I used to be locked up in that hospital in Jackson.
Harry, let's not have that talk.
A month from my wedding day, and what do I dream about? Dancing in my husband's arms? Children running in the yard? No. I dream of what a quiet breakfast might look like.
Your man Levy's a Baptist, no respect for the Holy Mother.
Paul.
He's gonna make your daughter jump with brooms.
I'm sitting right here.
Plenty of brooms down the street at the Mayfair Sisters Home.
He's calling me a witch, Mama.
Paul, you punch like you walk that back.
I love that.
Your brother sounds like
I love that so much.
Fragile, stubborn, indulged. I promised our father on his deathbed to look after him. But when Paul's mind was right, he was no burden. Point of fact, I loved him more than anyone on earth. And our daily stroll to St. Augustine was the measure of a good day started.
Good morning, Paul.
Good for you, maybe.
Morning, Louis.
You got a good shine. Was it beneath you? I said shoes your way.
Nothing is beneath me, son.
I'm ready, Father.
I wanted to thank the family for last Sunday's donation.
Babysit money. Church comes and downs them.
Well, we're always here for them. And the money goes a good way towards the renovation.
I want Father Matthias. Thank you.
You got nothing to confess to anyhow. Wasting a good man's time.
You're right there, Paul. I haven't seen you in confession of late, Louis. You know you can always come here if you're in need, son.
Okay, I see the setup.
My business and my raised religion were at odds. And the latencies within me, well, I beat those back with a lie I told myself about myself. That I was a red-blooded son of the South, seeking ass before absolution.
And you maintain this delusion how exactly?
A particular woman who worked for the competition, as if rickety shacks were competition for Tom Anderson's Fair Play Saloon.
Louis de la. The night begins.
Miss Carol, Miss Lily working tonight?
Miss Lily's on the terrace.
It was a palace of opulence and splendor.
That's right, Mr. Devine.
That do fine, Miss Carol. And catered to an almost exclusively Caucasian clientele, which helped me separate the locals from those visiting from other southern states. Shaking the money tree tonight, I see Mr. Anderson.
Can't see the dirt for the dollars falling. Private game on Friday if your date book is free, Louis.
Can do, Mr. Anderson, can do.
Seul l'impossible peut faire l'impossible.
I don't know much what you're saying. But it sure sounds nice.
Only the impossible can do the impossible. Miss Lily.
Bonsoir, monsieur. You speak French?
We speak all sorts of tongues in New Orleans.
The hard table to get. How'd you manage?
How'd you manage to get yourself through the front door?
Excuse me?
I mean that as a compliment. The man of your race to have privileges here.
Louis has a small empire of his own down the street. He gets some privileges.
Something funny about that?
Your name is Louis. Of course it's Louis.
I didn't get your name, fella.
Je suis désolé. Je m'amuse trop.
Okay, so he's French. I'm happy
No,
about
he
that.
was.
But
You're the man who made me buy a townhouse in the quarter. I owe you everything. Please join us.
I know sometimes men of my race, we all look alike to you people. But I didn't say you no townhouse.
Louis, have a seat.
Let me explain. Into the new world I am.
That explains the clothes.
19th century man at heart, yes, making his transatlantic journey by ship, planning very carefully on settling myself upriver.
Besides your accent.
Put that on my account. And 2 more for us. And another round for the musicians, whatever they want. Ils sont toujours liés.
Yes, sir.
Where was I?
On a boat.
So I'm out on the present coast, floating past your village, when I hear music playing, shadows of men and women dancing by the water's edge. I disembarked for the music, but then there was food.
What's been your favorite this year? Mr. Liancourt.
A favorite? She puts a pistol to my head.
I couldn't believe it. Staring me down as his hands went wandering the seams of Miss Lily's dress. I wanted to take the end of my cane and slit his throat with it.
Why didn't you?
I couldn't move. My body was seized with weakness. His gaze tied a string around my lungs. And I found myself immobilized.
And the women, all shades of skin. White, black, cinnamon. I've emptied a bank vault sampling, I must say, but it was not until a few minutes later, quand je regarde un homme sortir un couteau de sa canne et presser la lame sur le sternum de son frère, that I said to myself, Mr. Unpack your trunks, you're home.
What did he say just now?
No more than sure.
I had planned to make a new life for myself in Saint Louis. That was to be my destiny. Now I know I was right. Only it turns out the saint is not a city, but a handsome man with a most agreeable disposition.
You're his destiny, Louis.
Destined to be very good friends.
The Orient room is available for the next few hours, Miss Lily.
The gentleman is swapping the sausage recipes, Miss Carey.
The Orient room is
Please get my friend here anything he wants. Wonderful to meet you. I do hope I run into you again, maybe.
Emasculation and admiration in equal measure. I wanted to murder the man.
The fuck is?
And I wanted to be the man. I had come there for Lily, but I left thinking of only him.
You know what's weird though? He's giving me Christopher Waltz vibes.
Christopher Waltz.
Yeah, from Inglourious Bastards, Django.
Let me see on your phone. He's not captivating me. He's not making me.
Because this is hold on.
He's not making my panties wet and me sinking into the chair staring at him. It's just not working.
Who the devil?
It's funny because he's giving me these vibes, but he's not hitting the mark.
Unfortunately, living near the wharf most.
True. That guy's much older and yet much sexier.
It's like you can see him trying, and it's just like
that guy makes you like on the edge of your seat as a bad
like
guy.
you're like, ooh, yeah, and this one is like,
no.
Maybe 6 feet variety. We call those bureaucrats in France.
Gentlemen, you all know Louis the Lock. Louis, let me introduce you to Mr. Lestat de Leoncourt.
We met already, Mr. Anderson, sir.
In front of a florist, wasn't it? We both wanted the last bouquet of lilies.
Aren't you going to ask the alderman how his head is, Louis?
Why would I do that, Mr. Anderson, sir?
See, Mr. Fenwick, just as I told you, the most discreet Negro.
With that, his doctor had the same standards.
Gentlemen, show you the cards.
Mr. Leoncourt, your hand is incomprehensible.
Oh, yes. I'm terrible at cards. Did I not mention that to everyone? Would you mind getting me some more of these money chips?
Louis, did you know that Alderman Fenwick here recently purchased both the title and deed to the Horton Rooming House on Village Street?
Mr. Anderson believes it could make a fine sporting house.
I recommend that the alderman find a managing partner before he commits his money. I recommended. He think of you, Louis.
Very kind of you, Mr. Anderson, sir.
What do you think of the location?
Ain't based the street, but throwing up medicine balls on the facade to get a good margin on the alcohol. No nonsense, madam. Keep the girls clean. I reckon a man can make a decent sum. Yes, sir, Mr. Fenwick, sir.
I said you do it for 10%.
All respect, Mr. Anderson. You proposing 10% for all the work? 15?
There's capital investment and there's labor.
Oh, okay, that's what I figured after they started talking about it. But
yeah.
Mr. Lestat.
Well, I can only speak of my experience, which is, I'm sure, different in my country. For example, you find gentlemen have heard of the success story that is a bon marché shopping experience like no other. These men look down on you. I have to say, I find it appalling how men like yourself are treated in this country. Undeniable. I came to my wealth honestly and at great sacrifice.
well, yeah, because Louis is a much stronger.
Many, I have now partners in my value. 10%. 15%. Do you not know your value?
Ah, yes.
Do you suffer these indignities for some larger purpose?
Yes, fucking yes.
And do you think two pair will win the hour? I believe there is great opportunity in this city, but to seize it, I'll need protection from the wolves.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Why was that so satisfying?
The business, if there is no capital, it does not exist.
All right, boys, show him.
All of a sudden, that guy's not gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong?"
Oh, Bo, Mr. Goulart. That's
He wouldn't tell me how he did it.
And that's how. Okay.
To make
Okay.
the stop. In time, Louis. Patience, Louis. Ask me next week, Louis.
Oh, that's funny because that's
He
straight
was in love with my city.
from the book.
Yeah.
Everything he could about it.
So you played docent to the gentleman vampire.
he had not revealed his vampire nature yet.
I'm assuming you only met at night.
It's New Orleans. Days are for sleeping off the previous evening's damage.
Cover for a vampire.
Racing ahead again, Mr. Malloy. Let the tale seduce you.
That's funny.
Just as I was seduced. Money would arrive wired from France. The shopkeepers who would use
That is really cool. If they take it to be way less like subtle, way more on the nose homoerotic, like I want to see that.
Why for a second did he look like Brad Pitt? Not.
It was a cold winter that year.
Like the moment he put on his hat, I was like Brad Pitt vibes.
For the very first time, anyone other than Paul, confiding my struggles to another man.
That's not exactly how it goes.
I was being hunted.
Yeah.
And I was completely unaware it was happening.
Don't switch your rooms. I don't need to hear you and your good man making noise.
You have to be home to hear that.
I come home nights.
You come home some nights. Out catting with some white man out here.
He ain't white, he French.
Oh, that's a new kind of white, is it? French white?
He different.
Invite him over for dinner.
This is why I love black people.
Oh, tell Levy you fishing for a richer man.
Don't deny your sister. I want to meet this French white.
He doesn't even get called this man, this French white man. He's, I want to meet this French white.
Yeah.
Like he's a wallpaper color.
But that just goes like you. It's such a stereotype, but it's so true. How black people just cut stuff off in half. You don't say the whole thing. It's not brother, it's bruh.
How'd that work last time, man? You come out worse than before. Gretna. Ain't happening. Yes. You.
Don't worry. Don't worry so much.
Worry about your own life. Worry about being a bride. Worry about what you're gonna wear in London, Paris, Florence. Now y'all gonna be in steerage out of New York. Once you get to Europe, first class on boats, trains, and hotels.
What did you go and do?
Just put the band by the deck and the pool by the fountain.
Mama, I'm going around the world.
I can't thank you enough, Mama Glade. I've never been east of Alabama. Now I'm going to see the pyramids.
Oh, I think every young family deserves a little adventure. Wouldn't you say, Monsieur Leoncourt?
Oui, madame. My mother, she gave me every advantage in life as a young man. My first mastiff, first flintlock rifle, the means to make my way to Paris.
It was Louis that purchased your holiday, Levy. It's Louis who patrols the
Don't mind, Levy.
And I don't know who gave you the right to call our mother your mother. She's not your mother yet and will never be your scientific mother.
Paul said, not in this house. She ain't your mother. Like, not your scientific mother. That's so funny.
The other night, didn't we, Louis? Right after the opera.
Oh, you got Louis to an opera.
You don't?
About some blind princess, didn't know she was a princess. Stomach got grown in that halfway through.
And what exactly is the nature of your relationship with my brother, Monsieur Leoncourt?
Paul said, I call it like I see it.
Your brother and I have been discussing a few investment opportunities.
The birds asked me to ask you. I wasn't being rude.
Monsieur Frenier, would you tell me how you came to
What if he's not crazy?
Delightsome young woman?
What if it's the ancestors speaking in his ear?
Shut your damn mouth.
Think about it. They in Louisiana.
That's all right, Louis, madame.
The birds asked me to ask you.
I came to know Christ in a monastery. I wanted to be a priest.
That's true.
Thank you. And under the guidance and discipline of the monks who lived there, I came to memorize both the testaments, writings of the SciFi.
Remember, you told me when we come back you were going to paint my nails?
Yes. Mommy will do it later, okay? I promise. I promise.
When we're done,
Mommy's
I'll make
doing
sure she
something right
comes,
now.
okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. She's like, it's later.
She looked at me and went, "Oi."
All the saints and scholars. My father, a vulgar man, did not think much of this education. And so he and my brothers conspired to pull me out. Lock me away. Where between beatings, starvations, and the failure of Christ to intercede the beatings and starvations, I slowly forgot all about the testaments, Assisi, Aquinas, Erasmus, all of it. And so, to answer your boring question, there is an ocean between Christ and myself.
J'espère que cela satisfera 3 ans forcés dans la cage de votre esprit. Don't do that shit here. Not with my family. You understand?
I am cursed with my father's temper at times. And the rudeness is all mine.
That's all right. It's the humidity. It does that sometimes. Why do we have some ice wine?
I love Southern people. I love Southern
It's
people.
the humidity, girl. It's the humidity.
That's okay, baby. You just have some tea and let's eat. Bless his heart, his daddy was me.
Oh my God.
You must envy him.
One thing God speaks to the birds in this game. How you figure envy?
The liberty he has with his thoughts, however misshapen they may be, a brother has no shame in sharing them.
Or it could have been the witches.
The lie you told
Sorry,
about
I'm
it.
just like,
No, you have a point because like in the book and even in the movie they show it a little bit, but like in the book it's a big deal because the slaves, they're very, very suspicious of him. They're like, they see all of it.
Right.
They whisper all over the place.
Right.
They're the ones who conspire. The whole reason the place fucking burns down is
It's 'cause
because
of
of them.
yeah.
And they have to
Yeah.
get the hell out because they're like, these motherfuckers are dead. This evil.
Yeah.
Evil. You're all evil.
Yeah.
We're not about the no like they
We about
do
that
not
life.
play with that shit.
Yeah.
They find them out there like, and it is in the movie.
Yeah.
They're out there with the chicken and everything.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, we are not dealing with this.
Yeah. Y'all stay over there.
For real.
Yeah.
And then when they show up, Louis like, you know what? Yeah, I agree with you. It takes it and starts burning the house down himself. He does do
Yeah.
that shit. It's interesting. So I mean, what you're saying, that's funny. It could be witches. I think
I just say that because I'm thinking about,
because he's the one who mentions the witches.
and well, he mentioned,
But if you're obsessed with religion, you would kind of be obsessed with those
did
who
he
break
say
religion.
specifically Mayfair witches
Yes,
though?
yes.
And that's why
Because
it,
the
like,
Mayfair
clicked.
witches are in
Right.
Yeah.
But that's why it clicked, because I'm like, out of all the, well, I mean, I guess if they're there and he's aware, then he would say that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but if he wasn't aware, got connected.
It's
But
very interesting. I like how you're
Yeah.
immediately like, it's the ancestors. Like
2023.
Don't everybody need to know what I do?
Dishonesty breeds dishonesty.
They sit in judgment. Paul's the only one to say it to my face, but I know my mind Grace thinking too. My daddy ran our sugar business into a swamp before he passed. We was 4 months. 4 months. We're going bankrupt if I didn't do something.
You don't need to defend yourself to me, Louis. I know what you go through to keep your family ignorant in their comfort.
It ain't easy the work I do. Nothing but broken souls around me. And the ones that ain't
that's
broke,
using the storyline from the plantation that was next to them.
Drink up. You're a savage garden.
That was the father died and he had 4 girls and he had run it into the ground
did good.
or something like that. And if they had a matter of months left on the amount of money that they had, and if they couldn't get a good harvest pulled in, then they would have been pushed out of their home. And Louis goes and helps them by giving the oldest daughter, like, he's already a vampire at that time, and he like sneaks and goes and whispers information and gives her advice on how to run the plantation. And she at first doesn't know if it's like an angel or a devil or whatever, but she does everything he says. She gets married, she does everything, and they are able to keep the house. But after a while, like, especially when his house is burning in the and it's in this all the shit's going down, she's like, you need to get the fuck out of my backyard. I don't know who you are. You look evil. Thank you for your information, sir. Bye-bye. Like
Must do it. I bought you a gift.
A gift?
A flower.
The thing about sexuality in the Vampire Chronicles, though, what I've always noticed is that, like, whatever their sexual preferences when they were alive didn't really matter. That, like, once they became a vampire, sex was just, you can't really have sex the normal way. Like, you can, but you can't. It's not the same. Like, drinking blood is basically like how you really enjoy having sex, how you really enjoy sensation. And at that point, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You can fall in love with anybody of any sex. So it's like being a vampire, you're almost like immediately bisexual.
Does Carol know you're healing?
That's how I got it a lot in the stories.
I think for the most part, most vampire stories are like that. And I think it's very interesting that it's always been portrayed that way.
That, yeah, like, vampires are just like, you know what? Let's fuck. It doesn't matter. But when you're immortal, who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, but it also brings the question of, like, why all of a sudden don't you care?
There's nothing to be nervous about. The curtains are closed. The servants.
Because the thoughts of men don't matter anymore.
That's your thing, then.
And true, there's an innate preference there, clearly. Like, some people are and some people aren't, you know?
True,
but then, like, if it's not a matter of,
right,
it's just a matter of sensation, then what does your sex matter?
True. But I'm, like, trying to figure out, how do you get from point A to point B? Like, what is that like, unless you have somebody introducing you into that lifestyle?
No, I just think, that the way, I mean, in her books, through her writing, the way it's always
if we're talking about this story, for instance.
This story, the way that they're portraying it is that, like, he's already sort of gay. That's how I got it. He's staring at the man and he's talking about his proclivities or whatever. And that the only way he covers it up is he goes and visits this woman. But I feel like Lestat's kind of making him step out and say what it is by, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe he likes both. But the way that they're broaching the subject of homosexuality in the show now is by making it like he's into dudes before he becomes a vampire. Right. Where, like, I'm just saying, in the books, it's always just,
but that's
sort
what I'm
of
saying. Like, it's always, for the most part, the only other thing I can think about is, like, a Dracula or the Twilight, because it was specifically a romance between two people, whatever.
Right.
But for the most part, most vampire stories, the moment they become a vampire, it's like, fuck, game on, I don't care who it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. They're just enjoying.
I'm trying to figure out that switch.
Because, okay, so like when Pandora is the love interest of, oh crap, I can't think. It starts with the M. Morbius? Not Morbius. Wrong word.
We're talking about
crap. No. The guy who
I know
is the keeper. The keeper of Inkle and Akasha, right? The guy who's like taking care of them when he meets the vampire Lestat. Like that's from the second book, The Vampire Lestat, but they put little bits of that book into the movie of Queen of the Damned so that you know what the fuck is going on, why Akasha is awake and shit like that. But yeah, so that dude that's taking care of them, he has his own book as well, and he's one of the oldest vampires. Marcus? Is it Marcus?
Yeah, because he's like, wait, I'm so confused.
Because I want to say that his name was different, though. I know it was an M name, but I couldn't remember it. But yeah, he is like a Roman emperor. Yeah. Not emperor, but he's like a Roman general or whatever. And so Pandora is the woman who they were in love with each other back in like Antioch, Greece and shit in real life. So later on, like whenever she becomes a vampire and she's with him and shit later on, they only have one coffin and she gets into the coffin with him and she says, like, just like put it in me. And he's like, but we don't, why? Like, he's like, that's not what we do anymore. That's not what we need. She's like, it's just nostalgia kind of. She doesn't use the word nostalgia, but it's like, just for old time's sake, it just feels nice. I just miss it. That feeling. So he's like, all right, fine. So he puts it in, and then they feed from each other and then they go to sleep. It was the weird, But they have a whole conversation about like not needing to have sex. Like that is not the thing that they do anymore. Okay. They have a whole fucking conversation about it.
Like, it's one of those things that, let's be honest, we've never really talked about when it comes to vampires is why it always, it's a sexual thing in the physical, not necessarily thinking about them drinking blood. Like we just see them all the time in orgies and whatever, but there's never we do this because it feels so good or because like our skin is super sensitive. So like even your touch is
that's what's awesome about reading the books though, is that you get that description of their thoughts and their feelings and their emotions.
No, I'm just saying in general, across all boards.
Yeah.
Not just the show. Right. Or the books. Or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like even in other books, it's not like it's not a thing.
Well, it is a thing in the Chronicles. But I think she makes more information as she starts to flesh out like the whole like world of it, and as more and more vampires are being added, and each one is an autobiography, and each one gives you more snapshots about the world around you, about the history of the vampires and shit like that. So I think that Louis is just so different from every fucking vampire. He's very, very different. And you realize that like he's the first person you meet and then you never see him again until like way later in the Chronicles. It's because he himself doesn't like being a vampire and wants to kind of sort of recapture that humanness about him or whatever. Now, the next time you don't see him is in the Mayfair Witch books. And like where the Mayfair Witches and the Vampire Chronicle books start overlapping with each other. That's when you start seeing shit about him then. And you learn about stuff about him there, but like he's much older there and it's different. But like you never hear shit about him because he don't want to be around vampires. He doesn't want to be in this life. Like he just,
well, that's another thing I find interesting that
you're basically like following Lestat the whole time.
True.
This is your introduction to Lestat, but you're following Lestat, and then there's these little side characters all over the place that you're reading their biographies of.
But I'm just saying, in general, in the world of vampires, I just find it very interesting that like there are very few like this.
What do you mean?
Like
this?
Well, like him, I don't want to be a vampire. I want to go live this other life, whatever.
Oh,
Most vampire stories are all about like vampires who are like Lestat, or you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, gorging,
like,
or well, I mean, I guess Twilight is like that because they're trying so hard to like fit in or whatever.
Twilight don't count, but
Twilight doesn't count for anything, but
sorry guys, it does not count. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in the world of vampires, it's just interesting because there's always been the status quo of like this is what to be expected in these movies, how they act, and it's just like
I guess it's like the words bloodlust.
Where the other people at?
True.
Because you're telling me that everybody's like this? Everybody ain't like this.
True. But for this world, for this right here, like it's just I'm finding it interesting that they're introducing the elements of homosexuality before the blood change instead of after, which is normal to.
Well, I was. I'm like, and I feel like he was a drunk, so he was in his feelings.
When?
Before he turns into a vampire, with everything that happened with his brother and everything like that.
Oh yeah. That he was a total maniacal, crazy person who was just like a death wish.
We wouldn't get that in the beginning.
True.
I've been watching you for some time now, from river to lake back.
Yeah, they're pouring this on heavy.
How you do that?
Do what?
Do what? Get my head like that. Such
a pretty head. Is she supposed to represent the girl that they both feed from?
Yep. Or at least.
Because that's a quick thing. They're making her more.
No, he's about to feed. Why do I feel like this is where he's about to get turned?
No.
That's fine, love.
She's like, don't worry about me.
Trying to get mine.
Dormez bien, Miss Lily.
Okay. See, interesting. Interesting.
What am I watching?
It bears repeating. I did not consider myself on a sexual mat at the time.
Wait, what?
I had experience of guilt, shame, floating on a sea of vodka type encounters. Obviously, I've come to embrace my sexuality. Of course, you know that. We met at a gay bar, didn't we, Daniel?
A good place to score. I did what I had to.
You've been married?
Twice. But we're not here for me, are we?
When you were using drugs, Mr. Malloy, do you remember the best you ever had?
Berkeley, 1978. Some Mexican black tar that Carly and Pedro were slinging.
So, imagine that. Flowing inside your veins again. Now, multiply it by miles to the rings of Saturn and back. He had taken what he called un petit coup, a little drink. Not enough to kill me, but just enough to keep him fit. It takes an enormous amount of restraint for us, the little drink. For a human, experiencing it for the first time, it was unsettling. And not for the physical toll on my body, which was significant, but for the feelings of intimacy it awoke within me. I had never allowed myself to feel emotionally close to anyone, much less a man. I had no room for feelings like these in my life. You could be a lot of things in New Orleans, but an openly gay Negro man was not one of them.
Okay.
I vowed never to return again. I shut that night out of my mind and turned my attentions back to life as it was before.
1, 2, 3, jump!
Beautiful.
Oh, you.
We are missing my father.
Look how beautiful that is.
He's supposed to dance with me to stop the night off. I'm trying not to cry now. And I thought the best way to honor Daddy would be to make my brothers do the work. Half of y'all don't know this, but these no good boys used to shuffle for pennies on Sunday. Called themselves the ABCDEFG. Remember that song with that?
Oh, yeah. ABC. All the boys come dancing every forgot.
I remember their collection hat.
Paul's like, the fuck? Yo, wait, let me touch Paul's shoulder. Paul said, the fuck? This shit is so funny.
And he was like, I am not gonna do this, but he stood up so funny. He would go dancing every day for God.
Oh my God. Paul's my boy right now. Paul said, I ain't playing with y'all. Oh my God.
Please. It's for me, my wedding day.
Shoes are tight.
Oh, the shoes is fine. It's the beat that's fat. Hey, what kind of rhythm you want, boy?
You play loud so they can't hear our feet. All right.
I love this so much. Can we talk about how tap has been lost on people?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's an art form.
It's such an art form.
I'm almost surprised they didn't like sprinkle sand on the
Okay, so the downside about this is the fact that they're not showing full body of
Yeah,
them
they're not
tapping.
really doing
Obviously,
it.
they're not actually doing it, which sucks.
Yeah, I'd be more impressed if they took the time to actually learn how to tap dance.
I know. Like, it's not... Okay, I'm not going to say that it's not hard because it is.
Yeah.
But
it's one dance. It's learning one dance.
They could have put that time in for that. Come on.
Or it just... They did put the time in, and no matter what, it didn't come out that good.
Drink that. Dirty rice.
Dirty rice. Yes.
5, 6 wine.
Yeah, a wedding, you ain't got you can eat it all.
Take down the neighborhood. $9,007. How many days?
Myself?
Remember the day I got taller than you?
Always bring that up.
Not all over. I was gonna look down on you for the rest of the days.
Yeah. Half an inch.
That's brothers right there.
I think you should get married next.
I think you should get married next. Okay, thank you.
Hazel. Who that?
The one you were dancing too close with. If you dance that close, you ought to be married.
Oh my God.
Catch your name.
Well, it's Hazel.
That's a brother right there. He's like, I got you, don't worry.
You still doing business with that man on the step?
Nah, didn't work out.
That's good. Cause he the devil.
You think everyone's a devil?
He's here to take souls. He told me so. He spoke to me without moving his lips.
He got tricks is all.
Mortal sins must be confessed, Louis.
Ain't never gonna see him again, Paul.
You think Levy loves her enough? Grace needs a lot of love.
Is bad.
I do.
You think he's giving her everything he's got inside him?
Mm-hmm.
They're not really gonna have them go up on the roof.
I know, but at least the clouds should be moving.
They're gonna talk about this one for years.
The way the light hitting them ain't great. Sorry.
Hey, too much chicken cake.
Oh.
No.
That was the last sunrise I ever saw. Perhaps the kindest thing the dark gift has given. I don't miss the sun. The reminders it carried. I've seen death over and over and over and over again. It's bored.
That'll make a great verb.
The diagnosis you received, Daniel, it winds your clock. This virus has turned the world sideways.
I get it. I'm gonna die. They're gonna die. But not the vampire.
The vampire is bored. The human was destroyed. Utterly destroyed.
I was at the funeral home. Everything is going as it should. Good men there. Promised me that
You must have said something to him, Lou. You must have said something to him to make him do that to himself.
Paul slipped and fell.
That's funny because that's a thing in the book. They constantly say to Luke, because they got into like a small art in the book, they get into a little bit of an argument because his brother won't let shit go. And it's the one moment when Louis finally cracks and says, all right, damn it, like stop with this bullshit. Let it go already. Like, stop. And then they get into a small argument, and then his brother doesn't speak to him, and then his brother like just does that, but on stairs, like from high above. He like lands on a bunch of stairs, and it just devastates Louis. It fucking devastates him. But then everybody says it's got to be something that Louis said to him. It's like everybody, but they don't say it in those words particularly. It's like everyone insinuates that it's his fault without coming out right and saying that it's his fault when he already feels like it's his fault. Like it's this really fucked up situation in the book. It's really fucked up. But this is it makes perfect sense the way they made it line up with this, because they were having a beautiful moment.
They were.
That, oh my God.
Yeah.
That whoo. That was and talk about trauma. Like
yeah. Yeah.
I would be fucked for a while after that. I loved this series. Oh, so sorry, we're just seeing. I loved this series already. We're definitely liking stuff about it. It's just to then hear your mother look at you and say it must have been something you said. Is just throwing.
I definitely prefer this because we know it wasn't.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like we're almost in the same mindset where he is.
Yeah. Like, wow.
Like his face right now, yes.
I wish we could show it. It won't let us will it let us show it? Hold on. Share screen. No, it's not going to let us show the screen. Sorry. But the look he's looking at his mother with when she's like, Paul slipped and fell. Like, Whew.
Yeah. I don't think this is something you want to pursue.
He was a fragile boy. He always was. And you always had to have the last word, didn't you? You always had to take him down a peg. Oh. What did you say to him? Why was you leaving up there?
Watching this one come up, Mama.
You don't get past the gates if and you kill yourself. Don't you know that? Paul gone down the other way. Paul's in hell because
Storyville lowered their hats, gave their proffers because it was custom. But if you look past those lined up on the sidewalk, you'd see the bars hadn't stopped serving. The whores hadn't stopped whoring. What was Paul's life worth to them? What was my life worth?
Yeah, that was painful. That Southern Catholic guilt.
Ooh. Easy prey.
Yep.
I nearly didn't come for you. Would you tell me where you purchased?
Move on.
I wait on my balcony every night. You've been avoiding me.
This is not the time, sir. This is not the time.
Kindly keep me avoided. Along to that flagstone.
Say to me. Yeah, you got it, boss. Keep walking.
He broke his arm.
Lestat's ambush had disoriented me. The sermon that was given I could not hear.
I can imagine.
And when the gathering cut loose the body, I could not join the transformation of those in attendance. He would not let me.
Come to me. Come to me.
What's that?
She's like that Southern Catholic guilt. It's so true.
Walk you home, Mama?
No, thank you. Come on.
Oh my God. So now his sister's married and she's going to be leaving. His brother is dead. His mother blames him for everything. And he's got, oh my God.
See you back at the wake?
I love how they show Lestat's powers.
Yes.
It's true.
That was
how
dope.
they're showing Lestat's powers is very interesting.
Very dope. I like it.
And if they continue with the Chronicles the way they're doing this, to show him get more and more powers as time goes on, especially after he drinks from Akasha. Very interested to see how they do that shit.
Come to me. Come to me.
Hello, handsome.
That's right.
My heart broke when I heard of your brother's passing.
Miss Lily,
Oh, my dear.
I don't care if she's busy with someone. I pay more. I like Miss Lily. I need Miss Lily.
Miss Lily died 2 weeks ago. Police found her under the docks. Said she contracted the fevers that's been going around. Blood went and dried up inside her.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Help me, please. He's in my hand, Father.
Oh God.
Yeah. He's in Lord.
Calm down.
This is interesting.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned, grievously sinned.
Sign of the cross, son.
Miss you, Jacob.
I'm a liar. I'm a thief, Lord. I profit off the miseries of other men and I do it easy. Drugs, liquor, women. I lure them in and grab what they got, Lord. I take daughters with no homes and I put them out on the street, Lord. And I lie to myself saying I'm giving them roof and food and dollar bills in their pocket. But I look in the mirror, I know what I am. The big man in the big house, stuffing cotton in my ears so I can't hear them cry. And Lord, I drag my family into this mess with me. I shame my father. I failed my brother.
No, son.
I lost my mother and sister, and rather than fix it like a man should, Lord, I run like a coward. I run to the bottle. I run to the grift. I run to bad bed. I lay down with a man. I lay down with the devil. And he has roots in me. All his spindly roots in me. And I can't think nothing anymore. May his voice and his words, please help me. I'm weak. I want to die.
happening?
Dilly, baby, don't come back here. What is it, baby? Let me just come through. What is it?
Well,
what is it? What is it? Give me kisses.
Momentary pause.
I love you.
For our daily interruption. Dylan.
It's time for her to go night-night.
well, I said if I have more time, I can still watch TV.
Okay, I love you.
All right, back
it's
to
funny that she comes in right.
Perfect timing. Oh, stop.
Oh, God.
Really? What's that?
This is not in the book, but it's interesting.
You think God had you in that tawdry box? For this pink record? This charge? Do you not see how unworthy he is? How can you humiliate yourself like this?
Religion does really trigger Lestat, though. It does. And then later on, it's not really religion. It's just his fight between, am I a piece of shit or am I not a piece of shit? Yeah.
I'm not the devil. You were wrong about that. I can't give you death.
Wrong timing,
like, I'm out.
sir.
I'm out.
Wrong
Don't
timing.
worry about me. I'm gone. Oh. I'm sorry, that's hilarious. What's that? It's like you messed up my speech. Oh, and then he slows time down.
Interesting. I like that because in the movie they just showed them go zip, 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 right? But this is interesting. Let's slow everything down to be really, really, and then him just walking normal because for him it would be normal. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a little excessive.
Shackle you in permanent exile. Every room you enter, every hat you're forced to wear, the stern landlord, the deferential businessman, the loyal son, all these roles you conform to, and none of them are true nature. What rage you must feel as you choke in your sorrow. The first time I laid eyes on your beautiful face, I saw that sorrow. I did not know how it got there or why. It was so voluminous. I can take away that sorrow.
Can you though?
I can give you that death you fed to a feeble, blind, degenerate, non-existent God form. But I can joyfully. I can swap this life of shame. Swap it out for a dark gift and a power you can't begin to imagine. You just have to ask me for it. You just have to nod your beautiful hand and say yes. I love you, Louis. You are loved.
Okay, no.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on. I gotta say this really quick.
Okay.
What is it about in this show, in the House of the Dragon, they have a sexual encounter once and all of a sudden we in love? You notice that?
Oh, well, I mean, some people are like that.
But I find it very interesting that it's happening in these shows all of a sudden.
Well, I mean,
And
you
it's
could
the
be
guy.
Like, vampires are so intense and they just wanna, but they met a few months ago. It's the height of toxicity.
I was like, where's the banner? It's somewhere around here.
Oh God, yes. No, yeah, I just like.
But I'm gonna say really quickly, I do like how subtle his eye dilation is.
Yes.
Because I was like, wait a second. His eyes real quick?
Yeah, no, yeah. His pupils are dilated like crazy. He looks like he's on ecstasy right now, basically.
But that makes sense.
It does make pure sense. Drinking blood should make your eyes look like fucking ecstasy, because also it's like a predatorial thing. When he goes to like lunge, his pupils should get crazy large. Yes. It makes perfect sense.
Oh, I love it.
But
in the details,
I'm trying to remember, because I know that he is super, what's the word? Like, not, I guess, like coaxing Louis the whole time. Like, with Louis, this takes a long time. Like, they're summing it all the fuck up in one episode, which I think is crazy. But at the same time, I get it. You only have 9 episodes. You got a lot to get through. So, like, but, like, it takes a long time. And yeah, I don't know. Like, he does kind of woo him into doing this.
True.
And let me see.
I love that they're showing the grief.
Grief, the desperation, the loneliness, the lust, it's all wrapped up in one twisted plea. Absolutely. 100%. But like the way Lestat is getting Louis to endear himself to him and come towards this negativity, you could say, or whatever, because he's going towards it, but the more he goes towards it, he could see bad things about it, and there's something about it that's pushing him away. So he finally gets to the point where he's saying no. Because think about it, Lestat is super fucking toxic. Lestat
100%
super fucking toxic.
Everything you do is a red flag,
right? Like
red flag.
He's finally getting to the point. He's like, I have to get away from this. This is not what I want. And he goes to like the priest or whatever. This is not in the book, but I mean in the show,
but it works.
Yeah, because he's doing everything, and he does go to a priest and talk to them because he gets sick. He gets like Lestat feeds on him, but he doesn't kill him. He gets him to the point where he's like almost fucking dead. He gets really drops him in the river, and he gets really fucking sick from it. And priests come because they think he's about to die, and it's not until then that Lestat shows up, because he's on the brink of death and he's about to fucking die. And Lestat's like, I can offer you where you don't die right now. And that to do that, it's a different reason to take the dark gift. And this is appealing to him in a very different fashion.
Yeah. You have
I don't hate it though.
No. I mean, what Lestat is spitting out to him right now, I'm just like, valid. 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 You have a point, sir. I don't know what to do in this situation.
But then it's even interesting. It's even more interesting, because then he really is that toxic, gaslighting, asshole boyfriend that love bombs the fuck out of you in the beginning, gets you to where you're just like stuck in your situation, because he's right. He has nothing after this time. His brother has died. His mother doesn't want him. His sister is gone. It's like there's nobody there for him now except for this dude. And he love bombs the fuck out of him right now, and then he just treats him like shit for the rest of the time. Or he makes him feel like he treats him like shit.
Yeah.
Because after this point, he's just he can't look at Lestat the same way. He in the book, he fucking hates Lestat after a while.
Where the show goes.
Oh, I'm very interested to see, because it would be hard to hate this person right now.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay, hold on. Bracing myself. Okay, here we go.
I send my love to you, and you send it back around to me. And this circle, this home.
No spoilers, but I'm confident after episode 2.
No, it frightens me as much as it does you.
Okay. It is difficult to explain how his words disarmed me, how efficiently succinct and impenetrable his argument was.
Bro,
right?
Because I'm over here like, yes.
And my wish to die seemed utterly unimportant. And I I completely forgot myself.
But it doesn't really make it seem like you have a wish to die, but okay.
For the first time in my life, I was seen. Be my companion.
You're the beautiful things you are. And be them without apology.
Oh. Speak sweet nothing.
The setup.
Oh. I want nothing more. Yes.
Oh, Louis.
He drained me to the very threshold of death.
Inside the church, no less. I find this very interesting. Oh, they show. That's interesting.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
CGI on the teeth are good.
Yeah, they better be.
The blood became as a dull roar of thirst.
Married in a church.
Like the pounding of a drum, growing louder and louder.
That's directly from the book.
Enormous creatures were coming through a dark and alien forest. A huge drum. And then there came the pounding of another drum.
Yes, this is word for word.
Were coming behind him, each giant intent on.
And look at his face as he's drinking from him. It's like ecstasy written all over his face.
Throbbing. My lips, fingers, and the flesh of my temple. Oh, my veins. Draw, and then the other draw. Oh. I opened my eyes, and it was then that I realized the drum was my heart, and the other drum had been his. I saw him sitting a length away from me, radiant, and we sat there for some time in throes of increasing wonder. The end. The beginning.
They did the blood tear. Oh, I'm excited now. Okay. Okay.
I walked my entire life as a dead man, and now could finally receive the secrets of existence.
You alone of all creatures can strike like the hand of God.
I did not readily take to kill it.
You're ashamed of Orion.
And then my Claudia, my redemption.
We're a family?
No, don't! For a killing machine, I kind of like her.
Am I from the devil? Is my very nature that of the devil?
This is not a life! Yes, because you took my life! Embrace what you are! You are a killer, Louis!
Okay. Did you eat the baby?
Episode Insider.
Let's see what they got to say.
I'm Daniel Malloy, across from Mr.
Louis Dupont Dulac.
So, Mr. Dulac, how long have you been dead?
I'm Roland Jones, executive producer for Interview with the Vampire, and this is your episode
inside.
Understandable.
The storyteller is
Dang, this is such a bitch.
Daniel Malloy. He's a journalist who is sort of on the nadir of his career, and a package arrives, and inside is a great deal of history that he did not want to remember.
I gotta call you back.
When he was a young journalist, he made a series of tapes with a vampire.
I think I want to tell the real story.
He's sort of given an invitation to revisit this interview and do it right and proper when both have lived a little life and are way more comfortable in their skin.
So, a do-over.
Truth and reconciliation.
He's a very different vampire, so he's got a lot on his mind. Lestat sees Louis de Pontelac for the first time pulling a knife on his brother. And, oh, that's intriguing. There's some potential there to be a companion predator. Then, in the middle of this poker scene, you can see he has been on his mind. There's a shot where he's sort of staring longingly at Louis while Louis is shining his business acumen. And he goes, I'm going to show him. I'm going to give him a little insight about what I can do.
These men look down on you. I find it appalling how men like yourself are treated in this country.
So he does a little vampire
It's not just this country, but we don't have to go there.
I believe there is a great opportunity in this city. But to seize it, I'll need protection from the wolves.
There is a sort of predator angle to this. Louis fully admits later, I was being hunted. Lestat would not see that.
I like that
Lestat
he's
would
bitter
say,
for a
"I was
reason. It's
supporting
clear
him."
he wanted the dark gift, but was
takes Louis
left to
to a
live his
place where
human
he
life for
finds the
40
church is the only
years.
place he
It's
can
an
go.
interesting twist.
Yeah. That, yes, I'm very interested to see where that goes.
Mind, heart, and soul.
Wait.
He wants it down, and he's feeling great regret.
I lay down with the
Yeah, because they did the interview. What I get from this episode and this scene, nothing came out about the interview.
Right, right.
So homie's just been sitting on this knowledge forever. All this time has passed. And now, yeah.
But that's why I'm interested to see, like, can you look up David Talbot? See, I see. So then we get into, like, Daniel. I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah, Daniel. Yeah, we get it. So, like, but then I get really nervous about talking about spoilers because David Talbot isn't a. Oh, I mean, sorry, of the Talamasca.
It's like here, take my phone.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking for the word thing so I could just speak it into it. Of the Talamasca. David Talbot from the Vampire Chronicles. So I kind of like, it makes me curious because, like,
I don't know, it kind of makes sense of the whatever article you were reading earlier, how they were like reinventing the story or reimagining or bringing back or it's not dead, whatever. Because it's like telling the story again without telling the story again.
Right. I'm just
because then you could update a couple of things.
I'm curious how they're going to remix everything.
Right, yeah, because you could update a lot of things.
Because Daniel,
so that it's not
Daniel Malloy in the Vampire Chronicles. Let's look that up really quick.
Problematic with the climate today, but it also doesn't take away what was already written.
Because what I think that they might be doing is combining two people's storylines.
Okay.
Because there's Daniel Malloy and then there's David Talamasca. The thing is that David Talamasca is somebody who's like part of the Talamasca is like this like order of people who are all like psychics sort of, who kind of work with supernatural beings like vampires and shit, and they keep everything in check. And he's an older person, and I know that eventually he does. Okay, spoiler, he becomes a vampire from Lestat, but that's not until Tale of the Body Thief, which is like the 4th book. That's like in it, right? But Daniel Malloy in the 1st book in Interview with the Vampire is only called the boy. And it's not until much later that you realize, like at the very end of the movie, you see that Lestat pops up in his car, like fucking attacks him, and Christian Slater's laid off to the side, and Lestat starts driving. That's in the books too. Like that's part of it. And eventually, like he gets turned, and then he starts like looking for people and shit, and he starts becoming like. That's why I'm really curious as to who that young boy is with Lestat, because I feel like that that would have been the. I'm getting things confused because it's been so long since I've read the books. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't put it past them to blend the two. I also wouldn't put it past the show that this could be that same person. Because just because we're 40 years after they...
So yeah, Daniel Malloy, he's
the
in The Queen of the Damned. He's the boy reporter who interviews. Yeah. Makes a brief
because
appearance.
In the books, if you're saying that that's like in the future, who's to say that that's not still ahead of the, like after this time-wise?
Okay, so Daniel Malloy is the young unnamed boy reporter who interviews Louis de Ponteloc in Interview with the Vampire. He's described as tall, slender young man, blah, 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 blah. After interviewing Louis and his refusal to make him a vampire, because he wants to, because in the movie it's like, all right, give kisses. Don't, hey, just come this way. Mwah, I love you.
But Janae, no for Janae.
No, it's fine.
She walks away.
She's kidding. We'll give a kiss to Janae real quick. Go. Crazy. Is Princess in here?
I think she's hiding.
She might be.
I see you tomorrow.
So in his refusal to make him a vampire, he becomes obsessed with finding Lestat de Leoncourt. So he leaves San Francisco for New Orleans in search of him. He doesn't find Lestat, but finds his watch and he finds Lestat's watch and the vampire Armand in Lestat's house.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right. Armand becomes fascinated with Daniel and pursues him around the world for approximately 4 years before they begin a relationship as lovers for another 8 years.
Wait a second. Okay, let's finish this because I got to do some research because I'm curious if that's the same guy from Queen of the Damned. Because
my immediate reaction is like, is that young boy in the back Armand? Because Armand in the movie is so wrong. Okay, he's literally like Antonio Banderas is this very old Spanish man with crazy long black straight hair, which in Armand in the books is like a 17-year-old redheaded Russian boy. Or like Belarus, like Kiev.
But I'm not mad that they put.
No, we love Antonio Banderas, but this is not an accurate representation, right? So like that's why I'm like, is that young boy in the back? Is that Armand? Wouldn't that be crazy if that's him? And they're showing you a character already, and you don't even know it. See, I love shit like that. I love shit like that. Together they travel, they spend time together, but then that wouldn't make sense because Daniel Malloy and Armand get together and then they go traveling and doing their thing. Armand holds out doing and then eventually Armand is the one who does it.
Okay, I'm gonna finish this.
Okay, sorry.
Help me! I'm weak! And I want to die!
He just pours it out, screaming to a god he hasn't talked to in a long time. Lestat has a very different idea about organized religion.
This charlatan! Do you not see how unworthy he is? How can you humiliate yourself like this?
Yeah,
this whole conversation is so much deeper than what it's been shown us.
Oh, absolutely.
He takes it out on these two priests in front of Louis. and then has to make a very, very quick and aggressive 360 and try to really give the big pitch.
I can swap this life of shame. Swap it out for a dark gift.
Which when a man can 180 the whole situation, be like roar to someone else and turn around and speak to you like a normal person, you gotta wonder. You gotta wonder.
Red flag.
You're the beautiful things you are.
And despite the barbaric scene, as he says, he got him at the right moment.
It's true. He did get him at the right moment.
And we sat there for some time, throes of increasing one. The end. The beginning.
Twitter is already alight, believe me. Oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. I'm going to be going on Twitter after this. That's for sure. It's 8 o'clock and we still have like another hour until House of the Dragon.
Oh my God. Prepare yourselves.
Sorry, I've been on Twitter looking up Ned Fulmer. People talking shit about Ned Fulmer. That whole thing, I'm just like, oh boy, okay. So I think we should do the second episode in a live stream on another day. We could say whatever.
Yeah,
because that was one that was fun. This was a lot of fun.
This was a lot of fun, guys.
Let's do this again.
Yeah. But we should probably go, maybe grab some food, take a bathroom break, because House of the Dragon starts.
Be careful. Episode 2 dropped, so it might be spoilers. No, I know. Episode 2 is there, but yeah.
Episode 2 is already available, so if you guys want to go ahead and watch it, do so.
We'll be doing a live streaming of that reaction as well, because this was a lot of fun. I am pleasantly surprised.
The boat was a little rocky.
Yeah, I was not expecting the show to be as good as it was.
Ended with an amazing execution. Yes. So we'll see how this develops.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Now, we always do a live after show of House of the Dragon. Girls go after Hot D. So
we'll be back.
We'll be back at 10 o'clock, usually around like 10:15, 10:20, because we also watch the after the episode shit, and then we got to set everything up. So we shall be back, and we will be diving into another episode of House of the Dragon.
All right. See you guys later.
Love you. Bye.